In today's video, I'm giving you 5 of the best trade targets in Dynasty football, regardless of if you're a contender or a rebuilder. Let's start with the rebuilding trade targets, and then there are time codes below if you want to skip directly to the contender trade targets. Rebuilders, if you're in a Superflex league, there's not a better buy right now for rebuilding teams than J.J. McCarthy. My quarterback 14 in Superflex formats on KTC and Flock Fantasy Expert Consensus. He's at quarterback 18. I don't understand why people aren't more bullish on J.J. McCarthy right now. Number one, ideal NFL draft capital in an absolutely stacked draft class. I mean, right now, the way this quarterback class is panning out, this might be the best quarterback class in how long, guys? I mean, it looks so good. He was a mid first round pick in that class. And we know 59.4% of quarterbacks drafted in the first round have hit in fantasy football. That's a top 12 points per game season. I really loved him as a prospect. Compared him a little bit to like a more mobile Kirk Cousins, which is funny that he actually ended up in Minnesota. Came out as a gold level prospect for me after scouting and looking at analytics. That is one level below the elite tag, which is my highest tier, if you will, of prospect. Insane arm talent. He's one of the best play extenders in the class. I know Caleb Williams is here, right? He is one of the best at throwing on the run. Loved watching his film out of Michigan. And Kevin O'Connell's offense is extremely quarterback friendly. It is very hard to fail. Let's check this out. Okay, Kevin O'Connell, his career. In 2017, he was a quarterback coach for Washington. And in that year, Kirk Cousins, as a Washington Redskin, had over 4,000 passing yards and 27 passing touchdowns. He ranked 7th in the league in passing yards. In 2021, he was the offensive coordinator for the Rams, and Matt Stafford almost had 5,000 passing yards and over 40 passing touchdowns. From 2022 to 2023, and now beyond, right? He has been the head coach for the Vikings. Kirk had the most passing yards as a Minnesota Viking when he was the head coach in 2022 with over 4,529 touchdowns. And of course, in 2023, we all know this, before Kirk Cousins went down with that injury, he was playing at an MVP level, completing almost 70% of his passes, 18 passing touchdowns through 8 games. He was so good. And this year, Sam Darnold is reviving his career in front of our eyes, has been completing 70% of his passes pretty much, 17 passing touchdowns. He's going to have a career high in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and he's led this team to a 6-2 start. The man is a quarterback whisperer. We know KOC is the guy, the best coach really for your quarterback to land in the NFL draft. I mean, he even won games with Josh Dobbs last year. He has unlimited weapons when he comes back from his injury in Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. They might draft a running back to help him out. And now he gets the entire year to just sit back, watch, and get better at his craft while waiting for his injury to heal. Here are some trade ideas, okay? Currently on KTC, they say he's worth a late first. That's got to be a joke. I'd send a late first easily in a Superflex format to go get J.J. McCarthy. I don't really like that many quarterbacks in this class. I'd be shocked if I preferred a late first over J.J. this year. And then let's look at some real trades that have happened in real leagues. Over on the Flock Fantasy website, the Trade Finder actually shows you real trades across Dynasty leagues. This is a great feature for us to have over there. So in a 12-team start 10, someone got J.J. McCarthy. They sent away Keenan and Anthony Richardson. Do that in a heartbeat if you can. Someone sent away Chris Godwin in a second for JJ. I love that in a Superflex league. JJ sent away again for Anthony Richardson and Jermaine Burton. Seems to be a common name used. JJ McCarthy for a first round pick, like we said on KTC. That's possible. JJ McCarthy for Derrick Henry. That's perfect. Guys, if you have a Joe Mixon, a Derrick Henry, and Alvin Kamara, and someone in your league is competing and they have JJ McCarthy, that is like the perfect target to go out if you're a rebuilding team. All right, the second player that I'm targeting everywhere on rebuilders is Trey Benson. I'll be honest, guys, I'm really shocked by how quickly people have given up on Trey Benson. He's my RB17 on Flock Fantasy 23, and on KTC, he's the RB33. I want you to go look at KTC's website. It is genuinely ridiculous the amount of running backs that they have ahead of him and the names they had ahead of him. It's insane. Look, in every video we made on the 2024 draft class, we specifically said you're going to have to wait at least a year to reap the rewards of drafting Trey Benson. We urge you to be patient because James Conner was playing well. He was on a contract year, an aging running back, and the fall off in Trey Benson's value, it's genuinely baffling to me. Like, honestly, look at this. In the past couple months, he's gone from the RB16 down to the RB33. blows my mind. A player with draft capital that we all really liked, at least for me, I liked it. He was the second pick in the 3rd round, almost round 2 draft capital, barely missed out on that. But round 3 has a hit rate that isn't that far off historically. 54.5% of round 3 running backs hit in the first 4 years. And you can see in round 2, it's around 65%. So kind of a formality, if you will, in a stacked offensive class. With his limited touches, he's looked good as well, right? I mean, in week 1, he averaged over 4 yards per carry. In week 3, same thing. In week 4, he averaged over 5.5. In week 6, over 5. In week 8, he had 1 carry, went for 10 yards. In week 9, he had 8 carries, went for 4.6 yards per clip. I mean, he hasn't had many opportunities, but he's looked really good with the opportunities that he's had. I just genuinely cannot understand the fall off. Look at some of the names ahead of him right now. Geno Smith, Javonte Williams. Are you kidding me? Javonte Williams is ahead of Trey Benson. What the hell has Javonte Williams done this year that makes you excited about him? He's on the last year of his deal. Do you even want him back in Denver? I mean, we've got names like Amari Cooper. Are you kidding me? Over 30-year-old Amari Cooper on a crowded Bills offense. Ramondre Stevenson, I guess I can understand that one. If, there's a very strong Ramondre Stevenson hive out there, but it's so easy to acquire him right now. He's kind of on the edge of like that mid to late 2nd round pick. Here are some real trades that have happened in real dynasty leagues. Someone sent D-Hop. Easy. Take DeAndre Hopkins, turn him into Trey Benson. Someone, if you're a rebuilder, and you want to sell CMC, go target the team with Trey Benson and get their 1st round pick in 2025, which is a stacked running back class itself. Go turn Tyreek Hill into Trey Benson and Brandon Ayuk if you're a rebuilder. There's not a more perfect trade out there for a rebuilding team. How about turning Isaiah Pacheco into Trey Benson in a 2nd? How about turning the hype on Jalen Coker into Trey Benson straight up? I mean, these are trades that have happened in real leagues, and I would encourage you to go do the same. All right. If you're a contender, I've officially come to the part of the video where I'm going to give you some contending buy, trade targets, if you will. There's really not a better buy for contending teams right now than Christian McCaffrey. I mean, let's be honest. You really don't need me to waste your time and tell you how good Christian McCaffrey is. You already know that. But the reality is, with Christian McCaffrey's injury and the extent of this injury, it's really opened up a huge buy low scenario for any contending teams that you typically wouldn't have. Because think about it, most times at this point of the year, Christian McCaffrey is winning people weeks each and every week, week in, week out, dominating for fantasy football. Don't forget, he just signed an extension this year to play for this team all the way through 2027. Let's look at some real trades that have happened in real leagues. Someone sent a 1st and a 3rd round pick for CMC. If you can send a late 1st, you don't send an early 1st for CMC. That shouldn't be his price point. But if you can send a late 1st, your 1st as a contending team for CMC, go do that. Here's another trade. Someone sent Pacheco, Addison, and a 2nd for CMC. All I'm saying is, if you're a contending team, CMC could be that missing piece. And at the end of the day, if you ain't first, you're last. All we care about is winning championships here, right? All right, the 4th player and the 2nd for contending teams is Jacoby Myers. If you need a flex option, if you're in a deeper league, I know a lot of you guys are in like 12 team start 11 or 14 team type of format, 16 team type of formats. Jacoby Myers is the best flex trade target for contending teams right now. He has had some very impressive usage since they traded away Davante Adams. If you guys remember, Davante Adams had a hamstring injury in week 3, and from week 4 onwards, Jacoby Myers was the unquestioned wide receiver 1. He has had a 32% target share in his last 4 games without Davante Adams. He's averaging over a 96% route participation. He's averaging over 37% of the air yards for this team. And when it matters the most, when you want to win your championship, his schedule could absolutely pop off for your flex position. In week 15, he faces the Falcons, which is a top 6 matchup when you adjust for schedule. Then the Jags, which is the best matchup when you adjust for schedule. Then the Saints, which are becoming a better and better matchup each and every week. Here's some deals that you can do. Right now, a late 2nd or an early 3rd, he's kind of like on the edge of that value. If you're a contending team and you can send a late 2nd or an early 3rd, that's a no-brainer to me. Here are some real trades that have happened. Someone sent a 3rd and a 2 quarterback 10 team start 10. Someone sent Lazard in a 3rd. Someone sent Kareem Hunt. Guys, the reality is when Isaiah Pacheco is back or even beyond this year, Kareem Hunt is dust. He will have literally no value in dynasty football. So again, I think Jacoby Myers is one of the best flex trade targets for contending teams right now. And I don't think people realize how good he's been. Okay, the last player, and we're not going to spend too long on this. This is more of an honorable mention. This is really for both contending and rebuilding teams. That is TJ Hawkinson. Guys, before TJ Hawkinson completely takes off, you need to get your hands on him. We have been talking about buying TJ Hawkinson for so many months. If you have this last little window to get a trade in, I definitely would encourage you to go do so. Check this out. His first game back for the Vikings, 63% of the routes. He had a 12% target share, 19% of the air yards, 25% of the end zone targets. And here's the best part. He played on 45% of the snaps. Guys, a 12% target rate on 45% of the snaps in his first game back. Go get you some TJ Hawkinson. There are very few reliable tight ends in fantasy football right now, let alone guys who have proven it year after year, who have long-term contracts on a really good team. TJ Hawkinson could be the answer to your woes at the tight end position right now for contending formats. So I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Last thing I'll say is maybe you don't know whether you're a contending or a rebuilding team. Maybe you need us to just have a look over your roster. Well, we do offer team reviews on the Flock Fantasy site. Check out the pinned comment. You can buy one in the a la carte store, or you can get one by becoming a yearly member. So check out the pinned comment if you want some help from us, some direction on where to go moving forward. I appreciate you watching the video, and we'll see you guys very soon. All love. Now that those idiots are done talking, who needs some rankings?
Hell yeah, I need some rankings.
Then use promo code LAND, L-A-N-D, for 30% off any membership at flockfantasy.com.
Oh.